Um, all right. Let me do this, and then when we take the break, I will come back to that.
Sir, I'm having difficulty getting on, so.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let me just continue this, and then we get back to that part. All right. All right. I'm going to go to. I might do a video on this. I think that would be a good idea to do a video instruction on it. But we will see. So what I was saying, guys, is that if I open Revit first, and you don't have the file like on your desktop or anywhere to access the folder, you would have to know where it says file name. You would have to paste the code that I gave you here. This is my own. So when I paste it there, I will see the project file there, and then I will open it. It's a 2024 file. Oh, right. So where we were is that we were setting up our username. Right. So for those of you who are not using the Autodesk username, you're going to go up to File, and then you're going to go to Options. Just give mine a while to start. Go to File and go to Options.
So you see when I post the the name there, it's restricting me, saying that I don't have access to the folder.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back to it. It could be one or two reasons, but we have to move a little bit so that before the break.
Wanted you to remember, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Blessings.
So we'll go to File, we'll go to Options. This is what you should see come up. And down at the bottom, where is it now? Here, where you see username. Remember, those of you who are not signed up with Autodesk, you need to have a username. Now, for most of us, it will probably default to a part of your Windows username. So I want you to put in, like, you can put in your name and your ID. So for example, I could say, Brian. When you type it, goes over there. I could say Brian Williams 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So my ID number is 0, and then I'll choose OK. So now Revit has that ID for you. Now the reason why you're setting up ID from now is because you're going to use it later in the collaborative project. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to ease off the pressure of you doing all of this at the end of the semester. We're doing it from the beginning, so we use it for the rest of the semester. All right, everybody with me so far? Well, those of you who are in Revit.
So, sir, my thing now. So everybody is on this one file right now. So that's why it's moving so slow.
No, well, from you open it, it doesn't matter whether you're on the file or not. It shouldn't be. It doesn't affect the speed. Maybe to save it or to open it. If everybody does it at once, then sure. But using it,
okay.
That is totally dependent. And while we're working on this file, by the way, guys, you're not going to be connected to the server, meaning it's not going to depend on the speed of your internet or all of that when you are working on the file personally. Because remember, this concept that we said here is the file is going to duplicate itself, and then you are going to work on the file that is on your computer. So this is what we're going to set up now. All right, so when you have that done, what you're going to do is you are going to go to Collaborate. And what we're going to do now is that we're going to change this file into a collaboration file. Now, you are only collaborating with yourselves, by the way, right? But you are setting up the whole collaboration thing from now so you can get familiar with how it works. But you're not going to be collaborating with yourself. Sorry, you're not going to be collaborating with other people. You are going to be the only collaborator on this file. All right. So we're going to go to collaborate in Revit. That's up the top. And then we're going to do this thing here that says, where is it? We're going to click the collaborate button. So notice when I hover over it, it says enables collaboration so team members can work on a model simultaneously. Now, as I said, guys, you will be the only team member in your file, right? In this case. But later on, we're going to collaborate, but not yet, right? So everybody should be doing this individually, right? So I'm going to choose. Yeah?
In regards to the name, right? Since I had switched laptops, I'm using my brother's computer. So I have his Autodesk logged in. So it says like Krishna or Archat instead of Karif or Archat, but I'm on the laptop.
Yeah, that's okay. But now that you bring that up, if you switch computers during the process,
Okay, I'll just use this one for the rest of it.
Okay, good. All right. My brain don't go down that road yet. All right. But guess what? This is a real thing. Like if you're working in a firm that collaborates with their Revit file, like, you know, everybody has different users. So, anyway, we'll get to that when we talk about collaboration. All right, so if you're following, let me X this off. So what you're going to do, you go to the collaborate menu, then you click collaborate. You will see this message come up. It's giving you two options and it's saying, do you want to collaborate in the cloud or within your network? Now, what we did here is that we set up our own little network in our classroom, right? And we set up a network that can communicate remotely. So we're not going to use the cloud. By the way, point to note, if you use the cloud, it is actually a subscription service. So there is no way to use the cloud without paying. Fun fact, I think in 2019, no, it was COVID or it was 2019. I think it was before COVID. We tried out the cloud 1 year. And what we did, we got everybody to sign up for a trial version of Autodesk Cloud, which only gave you 30 days to finish the assignment. Because after this, you couldn't access your work. So, yeah. So, but that didn't really work out. Because, of course, there were some people who didn't finish after 30 days, and those groups couldn't access the file. So then we switched from cloud to within a network. But anyway, that's some little history for you. Anyway, you're going to choose within your network and choose OK. Everybody with me so far?
Sir, that username, I think it's to set up because I missed.
To set up your username, you go to File. By the way, you already have a username, but I'm just trying to make it nice and neat. So once you install Revit, it gives you a username, but it's going to be kind of weird. So you go to File, you go to Options, and then under Options in general, right there, you will see Username. Just enter your name. Oops, I have two eyes. Just enter your name and your ID.
Okay, let me just
There you go. Yep.
So you said
my thing can't press.
Yeah, I can't change it. Say again?
I'm unable to change my name.
Oh, because you have signed into Autodesk, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So you don't, if you are signed into Autodesk, you don't need to do this because you already have an ID from Autodesk. Yes.
So we don't have to do the whole collaborate process at all?
No. All of us are doing that. All of us are doing that. But if you are signed into Autodesk, you don't need to edit your username. Actually, you can't. You can't edit your username. Right.
But it's not allowing me to press in the cloud.
No, you're not supposed to choose in the cloud. When you go to
It's within your
collaborate,
network?
right?
Oh. Then never mind.
Right. Make sure you choose within your network.
Sir.
Yeah, go ahead. Who is this? Samantha?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, the name that's on it is not mine.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. As long as you have a username. And guess what? You didn't even have to change it, but it's just that Revit will give you some weird usernames, and whenever we start to collaborate, it's easy for us to identify each other in the model when we have a username. All right? But as I said, this is not for now, this is for later. Karif, what's up? Is that an old hand, Karif? No? Yes? No? Okay. All right. So let me go again. Everybody has gone to collaborate and click collaborate, and then you choose within your network. So when you choose within the network, notice that this only says within cloud, because it says within cloud because you are already in. There is only two options, in network and in cloud, and you are already in network. All right, now that that is done.
Wait, sir, what was the next step after the collaborate step?
Just choose within network.
And that's it?
And that's it. Now we're going to the next step.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So now we're going to go to File, and we're going to go to Save As. So now we're going to save the project. Now the difference is that before, when we had, because we chose the option to collaborate in network, now when we save the file, it is going to save it in a, it is going to save a central file. It's going to save a file that allows multiple persons to work together in this file. So that is why we're saving the file again as a new file name. All right, don't worry, this will start to soak in as we go along. All right, I know that it looks kind of, but learning how to collaborate remotely in Revit is something that you just can't leave CSA nowadays and you don't know how to do that. A lot of places are working remotely. You know, you put on your resume that you know how to do remote in Revit. It's a plus. So, and this is the only module that we take time out to actually do that. So let's enjoy it while it lasts. Right? All right. Okay, so everybody's with me so far. So I go to File and I go to Save. Now when you save the file, we need to save it. This is important. We have to save it in the location using the IP address that I gave you. There is no other option but to do this. So what you're going to do is, if you look on the message that I sent you with the IP address. So in my case, this is mine. In your case, it is different. So you need to save this in the folder that is on the network. Everybody understand so far? Some of us probably know about this whole path and pasting and all of that already, but this might be new to some of us, all right?
Yeah.
That one more time.
So you need to save this file. I go to File, I go to Save As, and I need to save this file in that network location. So the only way to get to the network location is that you have to paste the IP address that I gave you.
Sure, and you save it to a cloud model, right?
Say again?
You save it as a cloud model or as a project file?
No, it's just going to be a project file that we save it as. But the type of project file that it is one that we can collaborate in, meaning multiple persons can access the file. You see, a regular Revit file, when you just use Revit and you save it normally, multiple persons cannot use that file. But when you save it as a collaborative file, you can have 2 persons, 10 persons, 50 persons using the same file all at once. So we are saving that collaborative file right now.
Okay.
So this is why we have to save it again after we enable network collaboration. Right.
Okay.
Right. Now, this process, if you become what's called BIM coordinators, then you are responsible for this process in an office. But not all of us will need to know this, but you will at least need to know about it. So when you guys form groups, one of you will be a coordinator, meaning you will be the person that makes sure that this process, you make sure that everybody is set up and blah, blah, blah. Right? But I need everybody to know this because, as I said, we're trying to make it so that everybody gets this experience at the beginning. Even if you never use it again, at least you can say you did do it. All right, so when I put in the IP address here, that address that I gave you in Zoom, and you choose save, it's going to carry you to that folder location, right? So if I click this thing up here, you can see that I'm on the network, I'm on this server here, and I'm in student 000. For you, you will see 01 or whatever your student, whatever your ID is, all right? Now I'm going to name the file. So in this case, I would name this maybe I would name it major project. Maybe I would put my name. So Brian, major project. And I'm going to name this central file. And here's an interesting thing. I'm going to call it central file V for version 1. That's just a habit. I think it's a good habit, and we'll see later on. The main idea is that I want to name it the word central file so I can know that it's a central file. It's still going to be a RVT file. And this is the thing about Revit. It doesn't tell you that this file is a regular project file or a collaborative file. Both of them is just RVT. You know, I wish it would identify it a different way, but that's just how it is. And I'm going to click save. Now, as I said, guys, you have to do this in this folder. You can't do it on your desktop. Don't do it on your desktop. You have to do it in that location that I gave you. All right, I'm going to choose save.
Wait, so what happened after you paste your ID in the file name again? Because I lost from there.
All that allowed me to do is it allowed me to, I'm trying to think if there's a shorter way. When you paste the number that I gave you, it carried you to the location. So, for example,
Let's say it opens up in the location already.
Oh, well, that's fine. If it opens in
Yes,
the location.
that's why I was not confused.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Because what happened is that some of us have the file, and remember, some of us were saying that you copied the file to your computer and all of that stuff. So not everybody opened it from the location. Some persons might have had it in their desktop, on their desktop, and then they open the file. They would have need to paste the the number in to get to the location. So I'm sorry I confused those of you who already were at the location. Yeah. So that is the only reason why I ask you to paste it there, so that you can save this central file in that location. All right. Okay, so are we all done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now what I want you guys to do is you are going to close Revit. Do you need to sync? Hold on. Do you need to? No, before you close Revit, do you have to sync? I don't think you have to. Let me see. Let me test it first. So you don't have to do what I'm doing. I want to make sure that what I tell you is good to go. Yes, go ahead with your question.
Sir, for my in the collaborate space, sir, it's kind of grayed out.
It's grayed out?
Yep.
If it's grayed out, that means that. So when you click the word collaborate, the word collaborate is grayed out. What about the word work sets?
Work set is highlighted, sir.
All right. Which version of Revit are you using? 2024?
Yes. Yes, sir, 2024.
Okay. I should know it from there now. Oh, it won't. And you say when you go to collaborate, you're saying this is grayed out.
Hold on, sir. Let me check again.
Right. It shouldn't be grayed out.
Oh, no, sir. It's fine.
Oh, okay. So you should be under collaborate, and then you choose collaborate, and then you get this option that's right here. And you're going to make sure you choose within network. I think I'm going to do a video on this, guys, just to make sure everybody get it. All right. So, what you're going to do is, yes, good. It works. It works. All right. So you still have the file open, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So now what you're going to do is you're going to close Revit. Or I should make you close the project, but it's fine. It's okay if you close Revit. So you're going to close Revit. Close the project. Everybody with me? Remember, you saved it already.
Yes, sir.
And when you saved it in the location, in the network location. So in that network location, everybody will have two files. They will have the one that was in there before, and they will have this other one that has their name and called central file. All right. So now, for those of you who close Revit, you're going to open back Revit. If you close the project, so now here is what I want you to do. I want you to, for most of us, you will see a recent file here. So for me, I'm seeing there that because I recently opened this file. If you're seeing this, just ignore it. I want you to go to open. And I want you to go to the file that we just created. And the file that we just created here, make sure you choose this one. Now, before you open it, I want to show you something interesting. This is the original file that I gave you guys, right? Student project start, Revit 2024. Now notice, when I click on the central file that I just saved, notice you see this option come up that says detach from central. And you see this option come up that says create new local. Now, if I click on the one that is the original one, this is a regular Revit file. So you open Revit, you do some work, you save it. That's a normal Revit file. Notice I don't get those options here under work sharing. So the regular Revit file, it doesn't have those options. But this central file here that I saved, after I enabled collaboration and then save the file, now it gives me these options here. So this is how you know that this file is a collaborative file, because you're getting these options. Now you don't need to change any of these options, you know. I just wanted to highlight that to you, because I don't know if any of you is wondering, like, how would I know if a Revit file is a collaboration file or not? Because if you just look on the file, it's not like it have a different icon or a different extension. It just looks like a normal file. So you know, so how you know is that when you go to open a collaborative file, it has this option that's your work sharing options come alive. But with a regular Revit file, you don't get any work sharing options. And work sharing is the word that Revit used to describe collaboration. Now, as I said, we are only going to be collaborating with ourselves, right? So, you know, but we are setting this up from now because it's a bit to absorb, and I rather we absorb it through while we're working on the project, rather than waiting till the end and then we have to cram all of this information in at the end of the semester. So it's a little bit more relaxed now. All right, so of course I'm going to choose the collaboration file. Oh, by the way, notice that Revit created this file called with a backup at the end. That's perfectly normal. All right, so if you're seeing this file, don't be alarmed. That's what should happen with a collaboration file. This is actually storing backups of that file, by the way. This is how the collaboration file stores backups. All right, so I'm going to choose this file that I just created, and I'm going to choose open. And crap, you're not going to get this option because I already did this. Okay, wait, I want to do exactly what will happen on your screen, because I don't want it to. I know that some of us might be like, oh my God, that's not on my screen. Why is it on your screen, but it's not on mine? Don't worry about it. So I'm going to go to open. I'm going to go to that location, and I'm going to open the file right here. Now, the file might take a little while to open because it's opening it through the network, but that's fine. It will maybe take like 5 minutes. Now, as I said, this step that we're doing, guys, we're only doing it once. So we're only doing this today. But then after this, you will just open Revit and work like normal. Is everybody with me so far? Some people?
Sir, I'm trying to find the document to remove it from the central file, but I'm searching for it in Revit after I save it and I can't find it. So
hold on, repeat. You're trying to find the document?
Yes, sir. You said after we save it, we're supposed to what is it? Disconnected from the central file?
No,
Or
no,
something
no,
like
no,
that?
no, no, no. After you save it, you close the project.
Yeah.
And then you open back the project. That's literally what you do.
Just reopen the project.
Just reopen the project. But when
Alright.
you go to reopen the project, make sure you do it through open. Don't do it through recent, that recent list that you have. It should work fine either way, but I want everybody to do the same thing so that we have the same experience. All right, so let me just go through the steps while some of us catch up. So what we did is we opened the project file. Then this should be a one-way arrow. Then we enabled collaboration and we use the within network. Then we saved the file. And I'm going to put in bold in the, I'm going to say on the server. On the server. But this is important. We didn't save the file on our computer. We saved it on the server. Then we closed the project. And then we open the project again. And what we're looking at here is these are instructions. This is how we create a collaborative project in Revit. All right, so this is what we did. So we opened the project, we enabled collaboration within the network, we saved the file on the server, then we close that project, and then we open it again. Is there anybody wondering why we close it and open it again? Nobody?
Yes, sir.
The short version is the way that Revit is meant to work. Imagine you were the BIM manager. The right word is BIM coordinator, BIM manager. So it's almost like, I'll put this here. The way that Revit intends this to work is that the BIM manager would do these steps. They would open a file. They basically would set up the file for it to work collaboratively. Then who did ask me that file? Who would open the file again? Anybody? After the BIM manager do this, who would open the file?
Person's working in the file, sir.
Exactly, the person's working in the file. So this last step is really meant for the user. So the manager set up the file, and then the user, use the file. But in our situation, we are the manager and the user, if you know what I mean.
Straighten that BIM object 1-2.
What you say, OCD?
Yeah, straighten. That is it.
Right. So we are the users and we are also the manager. And I want everybody to leave this module knowing how to be both, right? So for example, when you walk into a firm and you need to work on a project, and it's a big project, maybe it's a 4-story building, and maybe the architect in charge, the principal, said, look, I will need everybody to be on this project, right? Then Alex can say, oh, let's use work sharing so that we can all work together. Why? Because Alex knew how to do work sharing from BIM class. Now, if you didn't know how to do work sharing, then you're going to have a kind of, I call it a caveman system, where you say, all right, Gifford, you do the ground floor, and then Kimberly, you do the first floor, and then Nicole, you do the third floor, and then when you're done with your file, you give me and I'll copy my thing into the project, and then I'll copy somebody else's thing, or I will link the file over. Not that you can't do it that way, but come on, guys, it's 2024. I mean 2025. Right? So this is how you do a collaborative project. Now, as I said, you're going to see this 2 times. You're going to see it now at the beginning, and then we're going to kind of forget about it a little bit because we're going to be building our project in Revit, which is nothing that you guys are a stranger to. You already use Revit already. But later, we're going to turn that into a collaborative project, and then this whole thing is going to come back full circle for us again. All right. All right. So is there everybody did this step?
No, sir. I got kicked out for a moment.
Oh, okay. I am going to do, well, we will have this video there. I actually did a work sharing video already a couple years ago, but I think I want to update it. Remember, we can always rewatch this video. There's going to be a lot of repeating if you rewatch this class, though. So you're going to have to fast forward through all of the repeating. So everybody here got access to the server, right? And the server is where you're logged in and you're able to access that file. So everybody should open that file and turn that file into a collaborative project file. And these are the steps to do it. After you access the server, you open the file that you see in your folder. You enable collaboration in Revit. You go to the little collaboration tab. Then you need to save back the file on the server. Make sure you save it on the server. Can't stress that enough. Don't save it to your desktop. Save it on the server. And then you're going to close the project. And then you're going to open the project again. You go to File and you go to Open. All right. Now, when you open the project again, this is what you will see. It will look like the project and everything is normal. But I want to show you something interesting. If you head over to your My Documents, right? I have a lot of files. Here we go. If you head over to your My Documents, what you will notice is that you will see a file called, well, it will have the same name as the file that you made, and then you will see Brian, you will see your username at the end. Crap, this was my username before I close Revit. Oh man. I made a mistake. I should have told you guys to change your username and close Revit and then open back Revit. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Because you realize in this that it has my username before I changed it, but it doesn't matter. So you're gonna see a Revit file in your My Documents, and you might be saying, how did a Revit file get here? I didn't save the file here. But the truth is that anytime you go to open a collaborative file, like this file here, when I go to open this file, Revit is going to automatically create a local file on my computer. So what that means is that when I want to continue working on this project, I can just go to my documents and I can just open this and continue working. Hold on a minute. Is this going to be, oh, you are going to give me that.
So when you do that, sir, is it that you have to relink the file again when you're trying to upload it to the server? If you open it from the My Document, as it is a local file now.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Oh, I have. One second. This. Oh, I have two Revit. I got two Revits open, so I got them mixed up. Okay, which one is which one? I don't know. Let me go to save as. Okay. Let me save this. Close this. Oh. Give me 1 sec, guys. I got too much files on. Where is the date modified? Here we go. Yeah. Oh, okay, good. So why was I getting that message a while ago? Let me close this. Let me close this. Come on, Revit. Oh, you see, the same thing happened to me a while ago because I double clicked the file. So it's open it in Revit 2025. So yeah, you have to open Revit first. Yeah. Okay. Just give me a sec, guys. I'm just testing this on my end to make sure that it works. Here we go. So here is Revit. And is don't crash. Yeah, this is the file that I have here. Yeah. Yeah. This should work just fine. There we go. All right. All right. What was the question you were asking, Gifford?
I was just asking that the local file that they create, if you open it from the local file destination, that's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
We have to resync the file to upload it to the server.
Ah, I'm glad you asked that question. On occasion, yes. But for the most part, you will just be working like that file was a regular Revit file, so to speak. So you would be saving. So so for example, I just opened Revit just now, and let me do it the long way. I went to open, and then I go to my documents, and ignore all of these files. Like I have too much files. But anyway, this is the file I just saved, right? See it here, that says central project, whatever, and I open that file. So this is just acting like a normal Revit file, right? Yes, I may have caused you guys some grief. I may have caused you some grief. You know why? Because earlier when I asked you guys to change your username, I should have asked you to close and open Rivet, because Rivet doesn't save your username. It doesn't save your username when you click OK. I forgot about that. It only saves it after you close Rivet and open it back, which kind of sucks. So this is what I want you guys to do for me, because you're going to end up with that same issue. So basically what happened is that I changed my username and I saved the project. So Rivet didn't really change my username when I changed it. I would have to close Rivet, open it up back, and then continue to do what I'm doing. So what happened now is that when I open Rivet, Rivet is saying, hey, your username changed. And this, you didn't make this file with this username. So yeah. So here's what we do, guys. Let us do this process again.
So one question before we start that. If you never change your username,
yeah, you have no problem. Yeah,
okay.
You have no problem. Yeah. It's just me causing some more headache because I asked you to change your username, but I forgot to tell you to close Rivet and open it back, because Rivet didn't save that change. Right? Okay, those of you who did not change your username, those of you who did change your username, let's do this again. All right? And then we'll take a 5-minute break, and then we will jump in the project and start to do some work. All right? Okay, so let's go again. So this is great because those who I kind of left you in the dust, you get a chance to jump on the train now. So those who change their username, let's pretend that you're just starting. Like you just got access to the server and you're about to set up the collaboration file. All right, you guys with me? Guys?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. So let's go. So you have this folder that's here. Well, let's start from the very beginning. The first thing you do is you change your username and close Revit. So for example, I'm going to go to File. You don't even have to open a project. You just open Revit. You don't have to open anything. You just go to the little icon at the top. You go to File. You go to Options. And you change your username. So for this example, I made an error. I put 2 I's in my name. So at least I get to fix it. So I'm going to call this Brian. I'm going to give it a different name. Brian Williams. I'm just going to put it there. This is my username. I choose OK. Then I need to close Revit because Revit did not save it until I chose it. So now I'm going to open back Revit now. All right.
Sir, what if you don't have the option to change your username?
Then that's fine. You don't need to do any of this that I'm saying. You're good to go. So now when I open back Revit, I'm just going to double check. I'm going to go to Options and there we go. My username is changed. So now I can proceed to doing the rest of the stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the project from the location. So for those of you that I gave you the location, this is mine. So you paste it in Run, then you choose OK. I don't have to enter my username and password again because I have already done that and I chose the option to save the username, so I don't have to enter it again. So here you go. So for me, I need to open this file that says student start. Now I'm not going to double click it because if I double click it, it's going to open in Revit 2025. So instead, I need to go to this folder location. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, Open. I'm going to paste that location here. so that when I press enter, it will just go to that folder. Like that. And here is the file. That's called student project start. So I'm gonna open that file. All right, the file is now open. This is a normal Revit file. It is not a collaborative Revit file. So what I need to do now, I need to change this to a collaborative Revit file. So how do I do that? Well, I go over to collaborate, and in collaborate, I'm gonna click the word collaborate. Then Revit is gonna ask me, hey, how do you want to collaborate? Do you want to collaborate within your network or in the cloud? We're gonna choose within the network, right? As I said, the cloud is a subscription that you have to pay for. So we're gonna choose within the network. And this will be within our class network that we just created. We're gonna choose OK. Now, once we do that, that's it. This file is now a collaborative file, but we need to save it, right? So we're gonna go to File, Save As, Project, and we're gonna save it in the same location. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm in my student folder that's here, right? And I'm gonna save it as a new file name. So I'm gonna call this, I'm just gonna say Brian, I'm gonna say major project. Major project central file. Always a good idea to write the word central file just so that you can know that it's a collaborative file. That's what the Revit calls their collaborative files, central files. And I'm a big fan of putting version 1 because I always save stuff progressively. I don't know if some of us do that, 01, 02, 03. So I'm gonna just say version 1, or you can put 01 if you're a fan of that. And that's it. I'm gonna just choose save. Now this is being saved on the server, and that's it. Now that the file is saved, I'm gonna close the project. All right, so the BIM manager has now set up the file. Now the user, which in this case is ourselves, we're gonna open the file. Now, point to note, even if you are a solo user, meaning you are the BIM manager and the user, you still have to close the central file before you open it back, right? You can't just start working like that. You have to close it and then you open it back. That part is important. Anyway, so you're gonna go to open now. And for me, I'm in the location that I was previously, but I can always paste the the IP address that I gave you, and then we can choose open. So if you are already in this location, you don't need to paste it, obviously. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the central file. So I'm a user now wanting to join this project, meaning I want to collaborate in this project. This is what I have to do. I have to go and open the central file. And there you go. It should open fine without error. Now, automatically, just by the nature of me opening this file, Revit has created a local file for me in my documents folder by default, right? That is just what Revit will do. So if I look in my documents folder here, you'll notice that, Revit created a copy of that central file here. So let's say that I start to work now. So let's say that I go for my wall tool and, I'm drawing and I'm doing stuff, and I finish drawing and, let's say I go to a 3D view, and I'm just doing stuff in the project. I can just click save, like how I would normally save. And I can close the file if I want to. No. Oh, I didn't close the. This was the. Oh no, I need to close. Right, so I can close it like what I normally do, and Rivet is asking me, do I want to synchronize with Central? So what? Remember, if you remember our diagram earlier. Remember how this works? We are working in our computer, but our computer is synchronized to the server. Now, we can work and save normally, but in order to send those changes to the server, you have to sync. So this is syncing. And over here is saving. So normally when you work in your Revit file, you click save and it saves just fine. But in order to send your changes to the server, you have to synchronize. Now the reason you do this is because there's another person over here that's also working, right? Another user. And that user is working away just like you. But they also have to sync. Because if they don't sync, then this person won't be able to see what this person over here did. Now, you don't have to sync all the time. Like, you could just work like this, for the whole day. It doesn't matter. And then at the end of the day, you sync. Or you could sync all the time. It's totally up to you. So when I close Revit, Revit is asking me, hey, do I want to sync this file with the file on the server? Now, if I choose no, then it's fine. That it just means that I won't send the changes to the server. And if somebody else was also working in this project, they wouldn't see the changes. Or I can just synchronize to the model. So this is what I mean by occasionally you should sync, especially like during class. But then maybe when you're working in the middle of the night, you sync whenever you want, basically. Right? So I'm going to I'm going to choose to sync in this case, and I'm going to choose OK. Just leave everything default, choose OK. Now syncing will take a while depending on your internet connection, which is why I say you don't have to sync all the time, right? And that is the process. Now from here on, whenever I want to work on this project, I just need to open Revit. And I just need to open that file in my documents. This file, this is the local file. And I just need to continue working like a regular Revit file. So, I could just say, like a weird roof or something, choose OK. There we go. And I'm working. And now I want to save. I can click save. I can even save as, like for those of you who want to save like different versions of the file, so I can save 01, doesn't matter. And, then I can close the file. Revit is always going to ask me, hey, you have done some work. Do you want to sync this file with the server? You can if you want, but at this time I'll choose no. I don't want to sync the file, right? But just know that whatever change that I just did, it's not synchronized to the server. All right, so are you guys following me? Did you follow that re-explanation? Kinda? Some of us still lost?
Sir, go back to that. Can you go back to that, how you saved it to your like local files?
Right. You mean the diagram here?
No, like as in how, because I tried to, let's say for example, I put a wall. I saved it to my local files, but I never got the option to sync.
Oh, well, and it is, okay, so what you can do is did you close it already?
Yeah, I closed it and opened it back and I got everything back up.
Right, so tell me, so when you go to open And let's say I go back to open this file. Before I click open on the file, do you see your work sharing options activated? You don't have to change anything, but do you see it activated?
Let me try and close it and open it. Oh wait, no, hold on. I was about to close and it just asked me to say, okay.
Exactly,
okay.
because Revit will, I think it has a timer that it, like if it detects that, you know, you did a certain amount of work, it will ask you to sync.
Okay.
So guys, this is a demonstration of how you would work Revit in a I would say properly in a firm. Like a lot of people just open Revit and they start working, and that's fine. But if you want to collaborate efficiently with other persons, the file that you're working on needs to be on a server, and you need to, you know, have your username and all of this stuff done. Now, once it's done, you just work like how you normally would work in Revit. You just open the file and continue working. But when we reach later in the project now, and then we have other users that wants to access the server, this is when you will see the benefit of this, right? Because we have a central file set up, we can have multiple persons jump in on the model to get work done. So what happened with some firms is that you have some people that always work in a central file. Like they don't work in a normal Revit file, because you can have somebody jump in and out of the project anytime, right? Unlike when it's just a normal Revit file, like suppose you save your file in Dropbox, for example, and somebody else opens that Revit file and they work on it. When they save, what happens to the file, Antonio?
Sorry, come again?
If you just use Dropbox or OneDrive, let's say that two of you working on a project, right? And one user opens the file and works, and then they save it, right? What happens? This is
on the cloud you're talking.
Yeah, this is on the cloud. This is in your regular Dropbox or Google Drive or whatever.
I guess it just makes the changes to that one file, and then
exactly
the next person that accesses it sees the changes.
All right. Now, what if you, Gifford, and Karif were working on a project, and all of you opened that file in Dropbox? You didn't know that each one of you were working. Let's say the file is in Dropbox and all three of you open it. And all three of you do work, and all three of you save. What will happen to that file?
Does it still save normally?
Oh, very no.
Okay, I figured.
What happened to that file, Gifford? Give it a try.
So yes, sir, all always save and sync at the same time?
No. We're not talking about it. We're just talking normal Revit file. You put a file in Dropbox and you say, yeah man, the file is here. And all three of you get up in the middle of the night. You all don't know that you all get up. When you just get up and start work. And then all three of you save. What happens to that file?
It's whoever save it last. So all of those changes will just get rid of.
Exactly. So this is why we have a central file. This is why we have collaboration, where anybody can just jump in the file at any point of the time and work on it and save. And your changes, you don't replace the file. Whatever thing you change gets updated. Now the fun part comes when you see everybody working in a file. Anybody here plays? No, Call of Duty too fast. Anybody play any slow-paced game network, like, I don't know, a strategy game or something?
Yes, sir.
Right. And all of you are in the same game, moving the blocks. So imagine in Revit, all of you are in the same model. And, you know, some persons can adjust a wall and make certain things bigger, make things smaller. That is how work sharing works. All of you are in the same model, working on the same thing, almost like you're in a game moving objects. It's just that it's not so direct. Meaning, when Gifford moves a wall, it's not as if you're going to see that wall move real time. Gifford has to sync, and then you see the wall move. It's not like that. Maybe in the future, but that's how it is now. But the point is that anybody can jump in the file and work. Now, as I said, you are the only person that will be working in this file for the next 6 weeks, right? And this will help you to get used to the whole working collaboratively thing, but by yourself. Then, after about 6 weeks or so, we're going to switch over to collaborative, where you all should be used to this system already, and we will just have people grouping up and continue to work on the model. And that's when we're going to explore the other features that are in the work sharing, the collaborative panel. Because there are all of these little features here, but we're not going to focus on these features just yet, because we need to start our project, and then later we do collaboration. So we're going to take a 5-minute break, but at this point, everybody should have a local file in their My Documents. Everybody should have a local central file, because this now will become the file that we're going to use to work on over the next 6 weeks, right? We're not using a regular Revit file. We're using a collaborative file, all right? So if you haven't gotten this step where you have the local file, I would say this needs to be a benchmark that you reach now in the class, because you're going to build on top of this. If you already have this file, let's take a break, drink some water.
So, I have a question.
Yeah.
I remember you were saying that when you save, it will pop up in your documents, right?
Mm-hmm. When you save, what happened?
I think you say when you save the file, it will pop up in your documents as a copy.
Yes. When you close after you create the central model and you close it, when you open it now as the user, it will create a copy. So it's after you close and open it again. You have to close it and open it again for it to do.
Okay, well, I will try it again, because I close it and open it, but it still doesn't pop up. But I'll do it again.
All right. Okay. All right. And you remember the steps that we said in order to do that? You need to open a project file from the server using the link that I gave you. Enable collaboration, and then save it back on the server and close it. Okay. All right. Is there anybody here that's not set up? Any connection problems? I remember some persons were having some connection problems. Anybody? Anybody that wasn't connecting to the server?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Hamilton. Right, I remember now. Tyrion. What you can do is you can catch the recording. I'm gonna try and edit the recording so that I only I have